Right. Hi, Gene Star. I wanted to put together this little video for you to give you what we're going to be doing with your warm up, at least for the time being, and just some stuff that you guys could do at home. In between sessions, and you may even find that it's just a nice way to kind of get your body loose and engaged, so to speak. Well, let's begin. Now, we're going to start off. If you end up getting one, we'll start off with a little bit of foam rolling. Gene, we'll just be a little cautious with you on this, just putting too much pressure on your body. Specifically on your elbows, the tendons, and so forth. But so what we're going to do is we're going to start off just kind of rolling out certain aspects of the body, and think about this is it's self massage, and we're just trying to get the tissue loose so it moves a little bit more fluidly. So I like to start off with the glutes. You may even this may be all the pressure you need. So both feet down, just kind of, and make it kind of exploratory. You're just rolling on the cheek, just finding where it feels tense. I don't want you to feel like you have to spend a whole lot of time on it. If you find a little spot, you can put a little bit more pressure on it, a little bit more focus on it, but don't dig in. 20 to 30 seconds in each location is about all you need. Anything more than that, and sometimes it creates more problems than it solves. If you want to make this a little bit more intense, what you can do is you can go ankle over knee, drop that knee to the side, and just get in there. It just kind of exposes just a little bit more. Then I'm going to send you a video with the full kind of series that I like to do. But for you guys, all we did the glutes, right? And then we did your back. And just be gentle. What you don't want to do is too much on the low back, unless it feels really good and the foam roller is fairly soft. Go for it. But if you got something, if all you can find is a hard, dense one, then it may be just a little too much, especially on that low back. But I want you to feel free to explore. I'll often put my hands just above my head, even elbows together, kind of get that mid back, and just explore around. You can go to the side a little bit. Let me make sure you guys can see me. You get the side a little bit, right? Roll to the side, right? Again, do the other side. And then the last one we did was we put the foam roller on your thighs, and what you can do here is you can do both, right? Or you can concentrate on one and just play around, right? Go from, close, lower down towards the knee, up to more towards the hip. Just find where it feels tender and spend a little time on it. Again, really no more than 20 to 30 seconds. Anything more than that's overkill. You're not going to solve any problems here. What we're trying to really do is just loosen up the tissue. All right. So then the next thing I want you guys to do is I want you to spend a little bit of time like we typically do breathing, right? Because what we're really trying to do, as I've mentioned before, is the only way you can really truly create stability is from the inside out. And the way we do that is through expansion. The way we create that expansion is optimizing your alignment and then ensuring you're getting a nice, good breath into the body. So, right, that's why that breath is so important and why we really want to start off with that breath. So, I'm going to use a pad. Gene, we definitely want you to use a pad. Star, I don't think you need one, but based on one's alignment, right, for me, I tend to have what's called a little bit of a forward head carriage. So I'm going to put this underneath my head, right? And so then from here, what we've been doing, right, is we've been putting that little tuck in the tailbone. So what my cues usually are, tail slightly tucked, back flat, ribs down. Now, I don't want you to force your back into the floor, right? But I just want you to think tail slightly tucked, back flat, ribs down, right? So we're trying to, as we've discussed before, we're trying to stack the rib cage in the pelvis, right? Stack the ribs and hips. Then we're going to make that little ring that we make with our thumb and index finger and place it on your waist. And what I like to think about is think about your index finger in line with your navel. Now you want a little bit of pressure in so you can feel that breath. And so again, what we're doing is we're optimizing your alignment, and then we're checking the breath. Can I get that nice expansion upon inhalation? So I'm going to silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale in through the nose. As you exhale all the air out of your lungs. And at first, right, we're exhaling on that sigh or that whispered ah, just letting the air out. Silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale in through the nose. Exhaling. You go like 3 to 5 nice deep breaths there. And again, what you're sensing for is this expansion in the lower torso into the ring, right, that we're creating with the thumb and index finger. Right? We're trying to sense that expansion into that lower torso and really down into the pelvis as well. So after a couple of breaths, we'll switch to that tension exhale. And right here, same thing. Can we still get that same silent, slow, and smooth, nice full inhale? Can we feel that expansion upon inhalation? But now, as we exhale, using that tension exhale, can you feel those muscles engage? Can you brace in that core? And then what you want to see is, can you maintain that little bit of engagement? As you're inhaling, it may restrict the inhalation a little bit, but can you maintain that as you inhale? And then continue as you exhale, and you should feel a little bit of an upregulation as you inhale, a little bit more tension, or sorry, as you exhale. But can you, essentially what we call breathing behind the shield, can you keep a certain level of engagement as you inhale and exhale? So again, 3 to 5 breaths there. Then we're going to go to that march. And so same idea, right? So we got our optimize our alignment, our stacked position, ribs and hips, right? Tail slightly tucked, back flat, ribs down. We got our ring, right? You're going to start your breath, feel the expansion. Top of that inhalation, when you feel that expansion, we're going to lift that foot. And then as you exhale, lower down, right? Silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale into the nose. Top of that inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale in through the nose. Top of that inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So here we're going like 3 to 5 nice deep breaths. Oh, sorry, like 5 up to 8. Less is more. Quality is far more important than quantity. I'd much rather have you do 5 really smooth, allowing for that inhalation, managing control over than feeling like you got to rush through 8. So then what we have to do is we're doing that hip bridge. Now you may want to bring the feet a little bit closer in, maybe even a little bit further back with this one. Same idea, right? We're going to optimize alignment, tail tucked, back flat, ribs down. Big inhale into the ring. This time we're going to bridge those hips up. Now, if you got something underneath your head, you're going to probably want to remove it. So, right, notice I'm still maintaining that stacked position, rib and pelvis alignment. I'm going to start the inhale. I'm going to feel that expansion. Once I feel that expansion, and here you really want to even feel it a little bit more so in the hips than you did just in the torso. So for me, it's like breathing into your tailbone or sacrum or your back pockets. Once you feel that expansion, you're going to lower down about midway, and then as you exhale, press on up. So again, same thing, silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale, breathe into the hips. Once you feel that expansion, lower down about midway, and then exhale, drive up. As you're driving up, just think drive to the feet, squeeze the glutes at the top. Same thing, silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale into the nose. Top of that inhale, we'll lower down. And here we're doing like 5 up to 8 of these guys. Once you complete that, we're just going to we're going to rock a little side to side, and then we're going to do that little T-spine opener or rib cage opener. So we'll roll to the side, right? And really what we want to think, knees maybe slightly above the hips. Like if here's my hip line, knees are slightly above, slight tuck in the pelvis. I'm going to take my bottom hand, I'm going to place it on my top knee. I'm going to take my top hand, I'm going to place it on my rib cage. And if you got a pad, you may want to throw it underneath just to try to keep your spine as neutral as possible. And then I'm going to just gently, as I exhale, think about rotating. As you inhale, make room for the breath. So maybe a little unwinding a little as you inhale. And as you exhale, maybe you twist a little bit deeper. Same thing, silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale into the nose. As you exhale, Silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale into the nose. And so we're just doing like 3 to 5 again. Nice deep breaths here. Now, Gene, I would stay with that. Star, if you want, you can make this a little bit more dynamic. And what we do, the next step would be what we call an open book. And what that is, I'm going to start off with my hands together. As you exhale, though, you're going to reach this arm back. And as you inhale, we'll come back. I notice I'm kind of pinning the knees down as I'm rotating, inhaling back. And this is just a way that you could do it a little bit more dynamically. It also adds the arm, makes it a little bit longer lever, and adds the arm to it. We're opening up the pec muscle as well. From there, you guys, we're going to just roll you over onto your back. Now, Gene, for you, we we want to keep this pretty low key. So what we may want to do is just take your make a little cup with your thumb and index finger, and make sure you guys can see me with your thumb and index finger, and you're just going to lie your forehead on that cup. And I want you just to breathe. I want you to let your feet lie flat, let your low back and your glutes relax, and just see if you can exhale just like you did in the very beginning when we had your hands around your waist. You're going to exhale all the air out of your lungs. Silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale in through the nose. And just do a couple of nice deep breaths. See if you can get your low back to soften. See if you can even get some movement back there. Sometimes it's helpful to take maybe a fold-up towel or something similar. You can do, I mean, this is not ideal, but have put something on your low back and almost imagine breathing into it. Having a little bit of contact back there, like with a ball or with like a folded up towel, just kind of resting on your low back can help you. It gives you a little bit of it's something that you can feel, and you can feel the breath kind of expand into that space, sort of like when you feel it expand into the ring that you're creating with your thumb and index finger. Now, if we want to take this a step further, then what you can do is you can start to slowly lift your head, neck, and chest off the floor. Just be careful here, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to sacrifice you don't want to get tension in your back, create tension in your low back or your glutes for a little bit of a lift through the chest. So you'd much rather have it just a little bit, fly a little under the radar, right? Keep it nice and relaxed. And just see if you can get more breath. See if you can get movement back there. That's what we're trying to do. And just get comfortable in a position, right? If you can't breathe in a position, you don't own that position. You can't acquire that position. That's the key. So we never want to push into something that we can't breathe into. Now, Star, for you, almost what I want you to play with, and we haven't done this, but we're going to take this a little bit of a step further for you, and I'm going to introduce you to something called a prone cobra, and it's just another exercise. It's specifically kind of geared more towards your lats, or at least that's how we're directing it. And so what I want you to do is you're going to take as long as you can do this, and you're fine, sorry you're not feeling anything in your low back, we're going to go here with the arms out to the side, almost like an airplane, right? What you're going to do is nice big inhale. As you exhale, you're going to come up. And I want you to put your shoulder blades in your back pocket. And what I like to do here is keep my pinky finger on the floor. Now notice all the rest of my fingers are lifting. I'm going to lift my thumb, index, middle, ring finger, right? But my pinky finger is kind of staying on the floor because I don't want to do this. I want to keep my pinky finger down so my shoulder blades go down into my back pocket. I don't want to lift everything up, right? So I'm going to exhale, silent, slow, and smooth. Nice full inhale into the nose. The bottom of the inhale, I'm going to lower on down. And as I exhale, I'm going to come on up. And I'm just trying to get these muscles to engage, right? And we'll work on this more when we get together the next time. And that's pretty much for it for right now. If you want to play with a little bit of a plank Star, you can, and think about incorporating that. You can on the knees too, and incorporating that whole idea of breathing. By all means, go for it. If you do it, keep it low key. Make it more about breathing. Gene, at this point, probably best to stay off your elbows. I think that is pretty much it, you guys. I'm just going to check your notes and make sure that there's nothing I'm missing. But yeah, that's it. So let's start off with that. Play around with those exercises. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm also, like I said, I'm going to include a video of foam rolling, a whole little series that I do that you can experiment with. It's just some more and different variations if you end up getting a foam roller. All right. I hope you both are doing well. I'll see you next week, and aloha.